You're that thing from my dream.
Really more nightmare material, but thanks.
Just say it!
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Ah, you said it twice. Just say it once more. Come on.
Oh, jeez. No.
No, you don't need that. Attention, Kmart shoppers. Well, I'm back. I feel real good about myself, you know what I mean?
Beetlejuice is just insanity, cut it loose, comedy, show up on the set and have a lot of laughs and expend that energy outward.
Hell, I'll possess myself if I gotta. Wow!
He's the kind of character that you lock away in your house, but after about a half an hour, you'd want to look back in the door. You're fascinated by him.
Scram!
Tim Burton was key to this because he sees the cracks in things as opposed to just a standard form of doing comedy. Offbeat, that wouldn't even describe it.
I couldn't believe the studio wanted to make it. It just sort of happened, you know. But it was a weird thing. I mean, I think originally I wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice. I had weird ideas. But then Michael came on board, that sort of galvanized it.
He tried to explain it to me. You know, it took a couple rounds and I didn't quite get it. As you can imagine, it's kind of a hard thing to explain to someone.
You can sit there in a room and talk about, oh, he's going to be this and going to be that, but it doesn't really matter. Once you put a costume on and makeup on, something else gets unleashed, which is always interesting. We just experimented like we do on everything. It sort of ended up with what it did.
One of the things he said that really triggered it was, he's like a thing that could come from any period of time.
Sorry, didn't see you sitting there.
I called the wardrobe department. I said, send me everything you can think of from various periods of time. A giant wardrobe rack showed up, and I just started getting some ideas.
Hey, this might be a good look for me.
And then I was walking around this empty house, I remember, and I just created this walk.
You're working with a professional here!
I knew that I wanted the hair like that, just electrified. So I must have somewhere said, okay, he's gonna be like the jolt of pure electricity. And then I wanted him to be funny, but also really kind of scary. And there was something about the goofy teeth. There's something about someone who is frightening, but also if he looks a little goofy, he scares me even more.
Now, let's turn on the juice and see what shakes loose.
We never rehearsed it. We never put it on film to look at it. You know, when I walked out of the trailer looking like I looked, honestly, I was really as ready for Tim and others to say, maybe that, but not that. I don't know. Let's go try it again, or let's go mess with, you know, that was as likely as not.
Working with Michael on that was just such an amazing thing. It's like one of the first times where I just got excited about improv and having a script and having a blueprint, but then just letting him kind of go and discover the character.
I gotta do a photo shoot for GQ in about an hour and a half.
I think to myself, oh, I get it. And so I would start to run the scene at this level of energy, and then I'd just kind of riff and go off. Pure freedom. I'm just gonna go nuts.
It's showtime.
The way that Tim and Michael talk about it is they kind of went and made a little art house type film. Nobody knew about it. They just explored and had fun and improv, and out came the movie.
Do you, Beetle?
Nobody says the B word.
In today's world, it's such a breath of fresh air for why people love it. It just continued its 30 plus years of fan love because it was the complete original.
That is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore, babe. I won't do.
35 years later, there's not a lot of depth or growth with Beetle. I mean, he is kind of what he is.
Coming out.
It's such a sort of a strange character. You know, we reveal certain things about him that we didn't know from the first movie, but that's why I love going back to it, just because it was slightly different. It sort of had its own set of rules, which I liked.
Maybe I'll lean in. Yeah.
Is that too much, do you think?
No, that's good. No, I like it. It's got more power.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like working with a prize fighter. You get something back when you work with people like him. You know, they don't just they're giving back something, and there's a back and forth, which is very exciting to work with.
That'll be up here.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll hold it on that
Exactly.
side, right?
Okay, yeah.
Because you don't want to come around and get it.
No, we'll try it. I mean,
Okay.
I want to cover this, but for this, no. Just do it like you just did.
When you see Michael made up in full hair and makeup costume as Beetlejuice and he steps out, you feel like no time has passed.
I felt a little tingle.
With the Beetlejuice makeup, we tried sort of almost making him kabuki white, doing it really sort of like heavy. I wanted it to be a little bit more three-dimensional than the original. And so we kind of added a lot of texturizing into it and pushed sort of mossy bits, partly because of the high definition of our cameras nowadays. So we kept doing little look-sees of the Beetlejuice makeup for Tim, and he'd be just like, oh, a bit more here and a bit more moss. You know, so by the time that Michael actually arrived with us, we had pretty much nailed it, and then Michael just added his tweaks to it all.
Now's my chance.
When actors do a movie like this, they know that it's a movie where they're wearing a costume. They're not wearing clothes necessarily, but they can own it in a way. Michael, for instance, said, I really want to see the original tux. So Warner Archives gave me the original tux out of the archives, and we looked at it because he says to him the tux was the thing, not the striped suit. And we got the belly out because he's in quite good shape, and he put it on and he was like, oh yeah, he was back in Beetlejuice.
I've got one more surprise.
It's gonna sound strange because he's Beetlejuice and I'm Lydia, but I never felt so safe with an actor before. He is always there for you. That's who Michael is. It's remarkable that he can turn into this other guy.
All right, beat it.
Hearing him do that voice is just thrilling. Like, you just kind of go, I'm now in this Beetlejuice movie. And just watching his process, he's very specific. Between takes, he'll sort of be running the scene in his head. He sort of mumbles these lines. And then once you yell action, he just sort of animates.
Sweetheart. Honey, let's talk things over. It's me, honey, not you. You need a soulmate, for instance.
It's the first time that I've seen an actor completely transform as soon as they shout rolling. He does this thing where he adjusts his voice and suddenly it's Beetlejuice. You're Beetlejuice, what are you?
Part of the deal is you can never ever say my name, ever.
It's the most anticipation I've had before filming scenes when I'm shooting with him because I never know what he's gonna do. He's so unpredictable, but it does really feel like you're dealing with this demonic character who's lived in every century ever, so it's really, really exciting and entertaining. Definitely some of the better days on set.
I get it. Now that you're dead, you want to hang out with me.
Would you help me find Charles, please? And then the VIP lounge.
Sure.
I had a scene with Beetlejuice, just the two of us. It was a very quick little moment, but we both realized we never had that in the first movie. I was threatened by him many times and I was forced into a sculpture, but I never related to him until this one little scene in this movie, so that was really fun. Just a moment with Michael. He had that Beetlejuice face in front of me and he's just acting like he's attractive. Somehow he is.
But you did something here where you kind of like, whoosh, and you threw it around and it kind of like, right. To them, which is nice, and then they come back around.
Okay.
Let me see that.
I really love to see how Tim and Michael connected together. You could feel that they knew each other very well. And so it was beautiful for everybody to see this creative synergy between them through the years.
They've got a shorthand, so to be in the room with them is to be in the room with people that are excited to be back together, playing around.
You know, guys like you and me, we drive the gals crazy.
I think it was very emotional when we finally finished in London. I remember Michael and Tim looking at each other and say, after all these years, here we are again. It's something special to see.
To be around an artist, you know, and someone original is exciting. That doesn't happen often. I'm a grown man and I'd be running around doing insanely silly things. It's tremendous fun.
You guys are great. This is the most fun I've had since, well, Beetlejuice.